We're talking to Joe Viglione on non-visual radio about the recording and release of his single, There's Nothing Like a Hit. What was the inspiration for There's Nothing Like a Hit, Joe?
Well, back in the 80s, I used to represent the late Jimmy Miller, who produced the Rolling Stones. Gimme Shelter, Brown Sugar, all those great songs, Jumpin' Jack Flash. And we used to go to the record labels. We used to go to Warner Brothers and Atlantic and Elektra, shopping master tapes. But Jimmy had a well-known heroin problem, so he made us stay at the Gramercy Park Hotel. And I never understood why. He said, "Oh, Joe, it's old world, I love it." And Paul Schaefer lived upstairs, and Paul knew Jimmy, and we'd see Paul Schaefer. It was always cool. But Jimmy would take a right, it turns out, at the Gramercy and go down to Houston Street. Houston, looks like Houston, but Houston, and cop heroin. And I used to take a left and go up to the record labels to shop the masters. We were both in search of a hit. So the double entendre, that's the song.
Where did that great female vocal come from?
That's Daphne Armanet, a woman who was signed to CBS Records in Israel, of all places. And she came over here looking for Jimmy Miller. And Jimmy was no longer part of our production company, but she came in and she loved this song about Jimmy and Joe shopping master tapes. And she, this incredible singer who's now an actress of renown over there. You can do allmovie.com on her, and Daphne Armanet is in all sorts of films. I think she's in a film with Sally Field, but she's on this. We cut this in 1991, and there it is.
My goodness. And why so many versions on one disc?
Well, what we're doing is we're putting the CD series out so that we can exploit the copyright. We're publishing the songs so different people can hear what we've done and take the instrumental track and actually sing over it, do dance mixes, do dub mixes, do different language versions, and that's our way of exploiting the copyright.
And how does one go about doing that for 2005, for example?
Well, BMI, Broadcast Music Inc., is my performance rights organization. There's ASCAP and CSAC in America. There's 3 of them. And we're going to blitz everyone at BMI with the single and asking them to help get it to TV and to radio and to the movies, because people need soundtrack music every day. And since we've got the instrumental, we've got the vocal versions, they have things that they can play with. And that's our new approach. We're going to approach the publishers and agents, and starting with our own performance rights organization, and see what they can do to help us.
Well, can a song that's been in the vault for close to 15 years be reactivated?
You know, there's a lot of cover versions of songs. My friend Bobby Hebb wrote Sonny. There's 700 cover versions from Frank Sinatra to recently Boney M and other contemporary bands who take an old song and redo it. I think that a good production from the vaults is valid if people haven't heard it, and it has yet to be exposed.
This is part of a CD single series, is that right?
We've put out 400 or so different artists from the Boston area over the past 30 years. And we thought, why don't we start taking some of these great songs that are in the vaults and reactivating them? So this is the prototype. We're going to start a CD single series with interviews such as this, with the instrumental tracks, with different language versions, and this is the beginning.
And do you have any plans for a behind-the-scenes documentary on the business of promoting CD singles and the song publishing?
Well, it's interesting. Rob Fraboni produced Bridges to Babylon. He's one of the co-producers, and he's remastering tapes to one of my previous albums. So I figure as we go into the studios and start remastering things, why don't we bring the video camera and do a little documentary and bring it to television?
Where would you as a writer and publisher like to see the song placed?
I'd like it to get some kind of recognition, and hopefully television or movies. I think Nothing Like a Hit would be a great baseball song. There's nothing like a hit. They hit that grand slam and my song can come in.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Archer, for being part of our audio series.
Oh, entirely my pleasure.